With El Terrell returned, the Guardians rested amongst its ruins. They spent a few days helping the townspeople rebuild alongside Ola Ravengard. The group, now missing Durin, consisted of Helio, Roscoe, Cersei, and Castellon. After spending a few days in peace, enjoying some time where helping didn't mean killing, they woke to find each had a single black feather placed beside them while they slept, an ominous sign from enemies they had forgotten. They realized now was the time to deal with the black feathers and rescue the children the shadowy organization held hostage. As they prepared to leave, Roscoe suddenly turned savage, taking Cersei by surprise and almost killing her. Awakening from this strange madness, he was examined by a local cleric of Ogma. She informed him that a demon had latched onto his soul, likely a curse from the Oracle in Avernus, a punishment for his attempt to modify its memory. Her diagnosis was grim. The demon was slowly overtaking him, using his powerful soul as a vessel. His soul would allow the demon to wreak havoc on the world, so she gave him a choice, a way out. She tattooed a symbol onto his arm. If he cut the symbol of his own free will, his soul would be annihilated, destroying the demon and himself. This would prevent the demon from hurting anyone else. She warned that a powerful soul such as his would also destroy everything within 500 feet of him when he did it. With this grim foretelling, the group ventured forth, heading to the Temple of Ogma to find answers, and maybe even a solution to Roscoe's affliction. Their journey carried them to a small tavern just outside of El Terrell. There, they encountered an innkeeper named Rion. After some investigation, he revealed himself to be a silver dragon named Valerian. He offered them his help, should they need it, in the form of a silver coin. When flipped, he would come to their aid. The group continued on, eventually finding the Temple of Ogma and entering. Here they did two things: researched Roscoe's condition, and Helio gave a true account of the Black Feathers, so even if they were to die, their crimes would be known. They eventually found a potential solution for Roscoe's problem: a small and forgotten temple on an island north of Eberron, home of the Aarakocra. They did encounter a different issue, though. The home of the Black Feathers, the Roost, is an impenetrable fortress. Getting in would be easy. They just had to surrender to them, and they would be brought inside. Getting out with the children was the hard part. When they rested that night, the four of them were brought to the court of the Autumn Queen. She offered them a deal. They would be given the means to escape the Roost with the children, and in return, they would send a message to the Black Feathers for the Autumn Queen. A warning to curb their ambitious curiosity. The Guardians agreed, and were each given a magic pearl, +1 for each of the two children that had been kidnapped. They accepted, and sent a message to the Black Feathers, offering their surrender. The Black Feathers agreed, and sent a small group of warriors and mages to retrieve them. Collaring them and binding their magic, they were swiftly teleported to the Roost, brought inside, and put in cells. Each member had a cell to themselves, except Roscoe, who was placed alongside the children he had condemned to this prison. There was only one problem. There were 3 children in the cell, not 2. So in order to allow his own escape, he would have to leave one of them behind. Making the selfless choice, Roscoe gave up his way out, making sure the 3 children went free. With the kids safe, and his friends safely evacuated, he was escorted to the Great Hall of the Roost. There, he was confronted by the leaders of the Black Feathers, the Feathered Ones. He spoke to them with a smile on his face. Already knowing that he was going to die, he decided to bring them all with him. He broke the sigil on his arm, and his soul was destroyed, bringing the Roost and the Feathered Ones with him. The surviving Guardians rested in the location the pearls had brought them to when the newest member of their party appeared before them, a gnomish barbarian named Orin, a servant of the Winter Queen. He joined their group. Deciding now was the time to deal with Durin's last request, they made for Draconia. Once there, they met with Lord Iolmir Kelfire of Stormkeep, a close family friend of Cersei. He agreed to help them. He gave them access to his resources at Cersei's request. With these, they managed to make their way to a mine owned by the House of Roshon. They attempted to buy out Kaelin's slave contract. Doing so would honor their oath of the Ascended Dragon and Durin's last request. The group performed a job for the mining company to reduce the cost of the far too expensive contract and ended up successful, freeing Durin's brother and sending him back to Stormkeep. The Guardians then made their way to the capital of Draconia. There, Cersei is reunited with her father, who appears apologetic and seeks forgiveness for his evil actions. The group follows a message hidden in the hilt of Cersei's sword Flametongue. There, they find a message crystal left by her sister that would lead to a weapon capable of killing a dragon. Seeing the need for such a weapon in their near future, they follow it to a large volcano near the capital. Inside, they find the tomb of an ancient dragonborn hero, the dragon slayer Kvarn. His tomb is sealed by an ancient magic, a test of determination, resolve, and nobility. To open the tomb and claim the weapon, One among them must be willing to give their lives. Without hesitation, Helio offers himself. But it turns out the test is just that, a ruse. The tomb opens, and the Dragon Slayer blade and armor of Kavan are revealed. But before they can be claimed, a massive red dragon rises from the molten rock around them. The ancient red dragon Thordak, freed from Avernus by the Guardians themselves. He engages the Guardians, and shows them just how outmatched they are. Thordak leaves the volcano for the city of Stormkeep, intending to raise the city that birthed Kvarn. Castellon teleports the group to the very same city, armor and blade in hand. Before Almir can mount any serious evacuation, Thordak arrives alongside the ancient blue dragon, Scarran. The Guardians flee the city, helping those they can along the way. They make it to Older Ravengard's interceptor and head back to the Sword Coast. Their retreat is framed by the burning city and the screams of those left behind to face the dragon's wrath. Returning to the Sword Coast, they are confronted by agents of the Conclave. This group of allied races works to legislate and protect the sovereignty and rights of its member nations. The Guardians are accused of an act of terror against the nation of Eberron and the Aarakocran people. Forced to sit trial, they are questioned, betrayed, and the accusation of their crimes is found to be true. The surprise, however, was the discovery their actions were justified. They publicly proved the war crimes committed by the Aarakocran nobility, and were not punished for the destruction of the Black Feathers. Frustrated at the impediment of their progress, the Guardians make for El Terrell. Once there, a parade is thrown in their honor, welcoming back the heroes of the city. They are awarded a keep in the city center, which they decide to turn into a training hall for adventurers in the coming battles. They end up meeting a group of dwarven rangers who believe they have found the secret base of Arcan the Cruel. A mountain nearby hides the underground base of operations for the evil tyrant. Infiltrating the compound through a hidden entrance, they scout the base, taking note of defenses as they move deeper and deeper inside. They eventually find a ritual chamber where Arcan's plans are made clear. He intends to summon the dragon goddess of evil, Tiamat, to the mortal plane, to Faerun. Noticed by Arcan, he warns them if they aren't able to escape in the next 10 minutes, they will be trapped inside the base until they are found and killed. The Guardians immediately flee, making for the base of the mountain as a massive magical barrier is forming, impenetrable to any mortal means. Narrowly escaping the barrier, they return to El Terrell and begin to make plans with Ulder. It is here they meet the warlock Sorin, a mysterious figure with a mysterious past. They team up, heading to the greatest wellspring of knowledge on the Sword Coast, beyond even the Temple of Ogma. They seek information on the Dragon Cult and how to stop Arcan's plans. Successful, they ascend the mountain to face the ancient white dragon and member of the Chroma Conclave, Keren. They are joined by a Conclave agent named Hugo Dalar, a master of disguise and a wielder of psionic powers. The battle with Keren is fierce, but the Guardians realize a fatal flaw in their plan to kill the members of the Chroma Conclave. After slaying Keren, she is revived by a massive purple crystal in her chest. She flees to the barrier formed by Arcan, and the Guardians face their quest's first failure. Returning to El Terrell, Hugo leaves to investigate the matter further in the Conclave's libraries. Back in El Terrell, the Guardians find Kaelin has joined the Adventurer's Keep and is training. Older Ravengard informs the Guardians that he has lost contact with the dwarven city of Klendark and wishes for them to investigate. Agreeing, they teleport to the city to find it taken over by mind flayers. The only clue to the whereabouts of King Glensk leads them underground to the Underdark. Here, their quest to end the tyranny of dragons will truly begin. Here, they will become not just the heroes of El Terrell, or the heroes of the Sword Coast. Here, they will etch the legend of the Guardians of the Gate into the myth and legend of all Faerun.